So if you follow this book along with me, you will be able to follow the discussion. Some of you can sit here closer so that you will be able to better hear the conversation. So we'll try to discuss this book, Personality Development, serially as much as possible. So I'll just read out the publisher's note so that we'll understand what is this book about, and then we'll proceed with the first introductory chapter. So as much as possible, you can also read along with me in your own mobile phones. So the publisher's note says, the development of one's personality, done in the right manner, is a challenging and rewarding task for every individual, particularly for the energetic youth who can gain much from it. It is challenging in that it demands hard, methodical labor, perseverance, and careful attention. And it is rewarding since no effort in this direction goes in vain. In fact, every effort brings success and satisfaction proportionate to the attempt. Moreover, yes, this will be better. It is every person's duty to work towards it. Since personality development is necessary for success in any field. In the writings, talks, and lectures of Swami Vivekananda, constructive ideas relating to personality development are profusely scattered. After culling those ideas systematically from the complete works of Swami Vivekananda, published by the Advaita Ashram, this is the publication of the Advaita Ashram, a compilation entitled Personality Development was published by Sri Ramakrishna Ashram, Mysore in December 1999. The booklet included an illuminating introduction, for which we owe our grateful thanks to its writer. We now have great pleasure in reprinting this book, hoping that the readers, particularly the younger generation, will have greatly benefited in their efforts towards personality development. Kolkata, August 23rd, 2001. So, this book is a compilation from Swami Vivekananda's complete verse mainly of those ideas which are very relevant to our personality and its development. So, we will read the introduction and discuss about it today. What is personality? So, today's topic, we will focus on this introduction and we will discuss whatever you find interesting, we can elaborate on that. What is personality? This is what this introduction is talking about. According to the Cambridge International Dictionary of English, your personality is the type of person you are, which is shown by the way you behave, feel and think. Personality, according to the Longman Dictionary of Contemporary English, is the whole nature or character of a person. How a person behaves, feels and thinks, how he conducts himself in a given set of circumstances, is largely determined by the state of his mind. Mere external appearance or a person's speech or mannerisms are only fringes of one's personality. They do not reflect the real personality. Personality development in the real sense refers to the deeper levels of a person. So a study of our personality should start from a clear grasp of the nature of our mind and how it functions. Whenever you find any topic you want to elaborate or you have something to say or doubt, you can raise your hand and you can just interrupt, please. Necessity to know our mind. We intend to do many things, make resolutions to cultivate good habits, to kick certain bad habits, to study with concentration, to do something with a concentrated mind. Very often our mind rebels, forcing us to beat a retreat from our efforts at implementing our resolutions. A book is open before us and our eyes are open, but the mind has started wandering, thinking about some past events or some future plans. So now also, when we are reading this book, we are experiencing this problem with our mind. The same thing happens when we sit for a few minutes, trying to pray or think of a divine name or form. Says Swami Vivekananda, free, we who cannot for a moment govern our own minds, nay, cannot hold our minds on a subject, focus it on a point to the exclusion of everything else for a moment, yet we call ourselves free. Think of it. According to the Bhagavad Gita, the undisciplined mind acts as our enemy, whereas the trained mind acts as our friend. So last time also we saw Atmaiva Atmano Bandhu, Atmaiva Ripuratma. This is what the last time we discussed this law. So we need to have a clear idea of the mechanism of our mind. Can we train it to obey us, to cooperate with us? How can it contribute to the development of our personality? So the fourfold functions of the mind are given. What are those? The human mind has four basic functions. This can be illustrated by an example. Suppose I meet a person whom I had met somewhere, say about 10 years before. I try to recollect when and where I met him and who is he. From the inner recesses of my mind, there begins a process of scanning, as it were, to check if there are any events stored there connected with that person. Suddenly I am able to recognize the person as so and so, and finally say, he is the same person I met in such and such a place, etc. I now have a firm knowledge about the person. Little you can reduce so that this slight. Analyzing the above example, we are able to discern four functions of the mind. Memory, the storehouse of memory, impressions of our past experiences, presents various possibilities before the mind. This storehouse is called chitta. We have discussed this before also. It is in this storehouse that the impressions of our thoughts and actions, good and bad, are stored. The sum total of these impressions determine our character. This chitta again is what is known as our subconscious mind. So what Western philosophy or Western psychology says is subconscious mind, and our Indian psychology says that this is chitta. So chitta is memory. It is a storehouse of whatever we do, whatever we think, whatever our good and bad actions are, whatever our good and bad thoughts are. So somewhere they are stored, is it not? Somewhere they are being stored and referred to now and then. back and forth we are exchanging with those thoughts and those actions. So where is that storehouse? That is chitta. So that is also a function of our mind. So chitta is not something that is a separate unit or separate hard disk or separate device in our mind. No, it is the same device which works in a certain way, which is called chitta. Then second function it does is deliberation and conceptualization. So the same device, same mind, also functions in different way. What is that? Not yet sure. The mind examines the many options presented before it. So this is also another function. It deliberates on several things. This faculty of the mind is called manas. So this faculty of deliberating, thinking, cogitating, having different options. You can come here, Deepak, so that you will not have to bend your head. You can come, friends. Comfortably you can sit. Otherwise, how long you will keep on bending for? So this different options, having thinking about different options, choosing between different. So this thinking, this imagination, formation of concepts are also functions of the mind, manas. So imagination, we feel so much we are imagining all the time. Sometimes we are caught up in imagination so much so that we lost touch with reality. So that we don't understand which one is real. Whether my imagination is real or the things that I am perceiving around me are real. So much we get this thing. So we call it daydreaming also sometimes. So in a broad daylight, we may be sitting among so many people, but we are dreaming something. We are thinking about something and we are lost into it completely. Somebody has to practically shake us to bring us back to our normal worldly affairs. So much we get entangled in that imagination. So these are all faculties of our mind. The same mind is doing this function also, same mind is doing the storehouse function also. Then third one, what is that? Determination and decision making. Then buddhi, that is what is called buddhi, is the faculty responsible for decision making. Now somebody is there who is deciding that let me do such and such thing or let me not do. So that decision making faculty is responsible, the faculty is called buddhi. It has the capacity to judge the pros and cons of things and find what is more desirable. So this buddhi means the same mind, the part of it acts as a buddhi, is doing this decision making work. So this, well, let me do this, but it will be better for me. It will not be better for me. It is also the discriminative faculty in a person, which enables him to discriminate between the real and the unreal, between what is to be done and what is to be avoided, what is morally right and what is wrong. It is also the seat of willpower, so essential for personality development, and hence this aspect of the mind concerns us the most. So what is most important here is buddhi, because buddhi is going to be the more subtler portion of the mind. The same mind when it is those portions of the mind which are more subtler, more refined, more having the more control on the other aspects is called buddhi. So it is going to decide, and the mind is going to function according to the decision made by buddhi. So though in a larger sense the same mind, but there are some certain different bifurcations made. That one is chitta, one is manas, third is buddhi, fourth is what we are going to see is ahamkara. That is I consciousness. I. When you say I, this I is also one function of the mind. Actually, this I is also one of the characteristics of the mind, one of the representations of the mind, more subtler. The outer layer, so to speak, can be called memory, because quickly you have to, when I see you, suddenly I have to remember, oh, last time I have seen him. So you can say it is working on the very first, at the gate itself. When I came to IIT, and at the gate, they first checked whether I am the person eligible to enter this campus. So that checking happened there itself. So in one way, this memory is acting quickly at the surface, so to speak. There may be different layers of memory, of course, but The memory that operates on day-to-day basis is more quickly available, more at the surface level, working continuously, because I have to quickly recognize people, I have to quickly transact with them using my memory. Then came thinking about it. Acha, memory gave me so much data. Now I have to think about it. Oh, acha, this person I have met, but whether I should talk to him. I started thinking about it. I started processing that memory. Oh, this person may be good, or maybe bad, or maybe useful, or maybe not useful. Like this thing. Now, Buddhi started deciding, okay, let me talk. Yes, he's a useful person. He's a good person. Then the decision was made by Buddhi. But all this was made on the basis of whom? Ahamkara, I. That somebody should be there as a seed behind all of these functionalities, that who is owning this thing, all these happenings of the mind. Somebody should own them. No? That I should talk to him, I should do this, I should go there. So all this Ahamkara is doing, I consciousness we call it. So appropriating to oneself all physical and mental activities. Example, I eat, I see, I talk, I hear, I think, I am confused, etc. is called ahamkara or I consciousness. So unless otherwise, the mind is constantly thinking, the buddhi is constantly deciding, the chitta is constantly remembering. But if that I is not there, it will be like somebody is remembering. It will be like somebody is thinking. It will be like somebody is deciding what is there to me. But when the I is attached, it is suddenly I am thinking. Suddenly I am deciding. Suddenly I am remembering. So that I is not there. That means that there is no, these functions will have no meaning. It is like something is happening, some car is going, but the driver is not there, or the passengers are not there. It is automatically, it is a Tesla car, which travels automatically by auto driver is there, functionality, but no passenger is sitting. So what is the meaning of that car? It may go around whole city all whole day long. It may travel, but it did not carry anybody. There was no one to say that yes, I traveled in this car and I went from this place to that place, and so on and so forth. So nobody is there. So like this I consciousness is owning all these things. Unless it owns them, unless it owns means what? Unless it associates with them, that sense of belonging it creates, then only there is a meaning in whatever all these functionalities are happening. So as long as the I identifies itself with the undisciplined body-mind complex, human life is dictated by events and circumstances of the world. So what happens? When this I is identified with the undisciplined body-mind, so whatever is guided by the world, you are behaving just the way the world is wanting you to be. There is no discipline, there is nothing. So when we come here, every Sunday we see that the way we keep our shoes outside, because we are not having that disciplined mind, controlled body mind. So what happens when we come here and keep our shoes or chappals or sandals? What the way we keep is, it reflects that our body mind is not disciplined. It reflects you, if you yourself, when you go out after this class and you see that I have just simply pushed my shoes, and if one shoe is lying this side, another shoe is like that side. And when I came, I did not bother about somebody else's shoe also. I simply pushed it, and someone else's shoes and chappals also have scattered because of my undisciplined mind. So this immediately you can test it. Nobody else should come and tell you that your mind is undisciplined and your body is undisciplined. So your very these small actions show that you are completely in a state of chaos inside. Why? Because this I, because of the fact that this I is identifying with this all world in this chaos. So the way this I identifies with all these chaotic things, then your mind is also functioning according to your eyes. This thing, it is a guide for this thing. So immediately mind also is chaotic. Then next it says, we become happy with pleasurable events and miserable with adverse circumstances. No, because world is guiding us when you should become happy. If the world says, "Hey, now we have started these things," or what you say, the big music system and some songs, then you have to dance them, because the world wants you to dance. You don't decide to dance, or you are not at your own will to dance. because somebody has put a massive wall of big speakers of music system, and then they start it. Then you just are forced to dance there. Some bits loudly they are putting. What is it called? This DJ, DJs. So somebody puts a DJ, a massive wall of DJ, and then you are forced, you are helpless. Then you go and you dance to your heart's content, and then who made you happy? Then if we raise this question, Acha, who made me happy? Then the answer will be the world made you happy. You did not. The source of happiness was not yourself. You were somewhere sitting morose, disappointed, depressed. But suddenly some DJ comes and so many people are dancing, and so you want again dance with them, and your mood is changed. So the world is guiding when you should become happy. So suddenly DJ goes, and again you come to your same depressive friend circle. Then you are again depressed while talking to them. Everybody is discouraging you. Everybody is pulling your legs and bringing you down, pulling you down. So then you are surrounded by such kind of company. Then again you are. So the world is guarding all your happiness and misery. More the mind gets refined and disciplined, more does one get to know the real source of I consciousness. So when I am more disciplined, more and more refined, then what happens? Then I came to know the real source of my I consciousness. So the I which was entangled with this body mind, which is undisciplined, which is affected by the world, then what happens? This I is also getting suffered because of that. So then my I is unrefined I. It is entangled I. It is stuck. It is stuck with this undisciplined body mind, and then it cannot dissociate itself and see as this whole body mind and this world as a separate entity. It gets swayed by everything that is happening around, and that is called unripe. That is called unrefined. But that which is refined and disciplined, and the more disciplined and refined, the real source of I consciousness you will get to know. And correspondingly, a person becomes more balanced and equipoised in his daily life. So that person is so balanced, so equipoised that whatever happens around him, may the heavens fall, but nothing, he will not get affected. So that is the equipoised person. Not that he is a dead person. Not that he is like a dead body. Dead body also is the same. It will not get affected if something happens. But he is not dead. He is very much living. He is very much active. He is very much alive. He is very much conscious. He is very much doing different things. But his mind, his I consciousness is so refined that in these all actions, his I is dissociated. So he is actually in action, in inaction. So that is what Bhagavad Gita also recommends. Such a person is no longer swayed by any event or circumstances of life. So many things are happening, so many terrible things, or so many good things, or happy things, or celebratory things, pleasurable things, but he's not getting swayed away by them. He has this I consciousness is fully under his control. This functionality of his mind, that manas, buddhi, chitta, and ahankara. This is 4. So this ahankara, this part of his mind is completely under control. And through this ahankara, this I consciousness, all other things are getting under control. So if ego is not in control, then everything is lost. It is one of the most important things. So next. These 4 aspects of the mind, namely manas, buddhi, chitta, and ahankara, are not watertight compartments. It is the same mind called by different names based on its functions. So we have discussed this before also. The same mind, the same device, the same person, so to speak, different functions he does. So we don't change his names according to his different functions. The same one person is doing the suppose I am here as a speaker here. So I am not called Swami Vivekananda the speaker. And the moment our class is over, I don't become Swami Vivekananda the non-speaker. It doesn't change. My names don't change every moment of time because my functions are changing. The same person. Now he is speaking. So what? Now he is not speaking. So what? Now he is taking rest, sleeping. So what? He's same Swami Vivekananda. When he is sleeping, then also is the same. When he is in a waking state, then also is. These are the 2 states of Swami Vivekananda. There may be 100 different functions of Swami Vivekananda, but the Swami Vivekananda as a person doesn't change. So same way, mind as a entity, as a unit, as an instrument, as an antahkarana it is called, is the same. Antahkarana means what? Inner instrument. Anta means inner. Karana means instrument. Bahikkarana means external instrument. What is Bahikkarana? This body. My eyes, my nose, my tongue, my hands, my legs are Bahikkarana means external instruments. Internal instrument is my mind, because these external instruments are being operated by my internal instruments. The controlling unit of some electronic device is being operated by the inner processor, inner electronic circuitry of that device. So that inner instrument is a instrument nonetheless. It cannot be called a very source of the existence of that electronic device. It is also doing some function, serving some purpose of that electronic device. So, but it is more important function. It is more inner function. It is having more controlling job. And the external things like this, maybe these buttons of the keyboard, they are the external instruments. Like the screen of this laptop, they are the external instruments. The screen and the keyboard will be controlled from inside. The chips, IC chips will control them. So they are antahkaranas, and this is bahikkarana. Now more about the mind. The Katha Upanishad describes human personality with the help of a chariot allegory. Our I is represented by the master of the chariot. So I is what? The master of the chariot. The one who is a passenger, one for whom the chariot is functioning. So in a cab, the master is the passenger, because he is telling the cab person to go to such and such place. I want to go to such and such place, and he has to follow him. So the charioteer, the master of the chariot is the I. The body is the chariot. So this whole thing is like the vehicle, the chariot. And the buddhi is a charioteer. Who is driving? Who is the cab driver? The buddhi, the intellect. Because he is deciding. Yes, the master had told him that I want to go to such and such place. You take me. This is the policy set by the master. That with this policy we will work. We will go to such and place that I have given. Now, the route through which we have to go, where to take a left turn, where to stop, all this, every decision will be taken by the cab driver. So buddhi is taking decisions at every step. How I should do this? My master has commanded me. I should go to such and such place. My life should be guided, and my goal should be reached. My life's goal is such and such. This has been given by my master. My master has told me that my goal of my life is such and such. Now, how to take to that goal is the buddhi's work. So buddhi will keep making decisions every step of my life, and it will maneuver, it will navigate this whole chariot to the destination. So if the buddhi is pure, if it is disciplined, if it is refined, then it will take it properly. If the cab driver is drunk, then what? You have to continuously worry whether you will reach your goal. So that is the thing. If the buddhi is drunk, if it is intoxicated, then you may not reach the goal. The manas is represented by the reins to which are yoked the horses, representing the sense organs, ears, skin, eyes, tongue, and nose, which are the 5 windows in a human being that give him or her the knowledge of objects of the world in the world. So these are the horses, this sense organs. Now you are looking at me. Now you are hearing to me. I am also looking at you. I am also hearing you. I am also having the skin. So somebody touches, I will feel that. Then I am speaking through my tongue. Then I am sensing through my nose. Then all these functions, sensory, these are 5 senses. So these are the horses, which are being controlled by the charioteer, the buddhi. Buddhi says, hey, now listen to him. So ears will be immediately going towards carefully, I will be listening. So much noise is going on. But only one person's, my buddhi says, my intellect says, no. All negate all the noise and concentrate on this person. So only the audio signal coming from that person will be attended to, and all the other audio signals will be negative. So this is the intellect's job. This is the charioteer's job to guide the horses where to go and where not to go. Hello, hello, visible, audible. I think battery drained. You have a spare battery? Is there? Ah, got it. So this is the work of the charioteer, the buddhi. The road on which the chariot travels is represented by the sense objects. The human being who identifies himself or herself with this body-mind system is said to be the enjoyer of objects or fruits of actions. So the person who is a master of the chariot, he is the enjoyer because for him everything is going. For him the chariot is moving. For him the charioteer is sitting. For him the horses are running. So everything is working for him. So he is the enjoyer, or he is the enjoyer of objects or fruits of action. So whatever is happening, if the chariot doesn't go into proper direction, it goes into a ditch or falls into some valley, then he will suffer the consequence. He will fall and get injured. If the chariot goes in a proper way and it takes him to a good, nice place, then he will enjoy the fruit of that action. So he is sitting inside and enjoying that. But who is working for him? This body mind is working to give him that enjoyment. If the horses are not broken, and if the charioteer is asleep, the chariot cannot reach its destination. The horses are not broken means what? Tamed. If the horses are not tamed, so this is a phrase in English that horses are broken means tamed. If they are not broken means they are not tamed. That means they are not in control. That means they are not ready to obey you. That means the horse is wrong. He is untrained horse. So he won't obey you. No? Untrained horse will it obey? So you will go to a horse riding schools and all. You will see how much with great difficulty they have to tame a horse. And the horse rider will have to have you will have to tame the horse and get full control of the horse. Otherwise, he will not allow the horse rider to sit on its back. It can even overturn and spell the death of the master. Similarly, if the sense organs are not disciplined and if the power of discrimination lies dormant, one cannot reach the goal of human life. So, same thing. On the other hand, if the horses are broken, means tamed, and the charioteer is wide awake, the chariot reaches its destination. So if buddhi is wide awake, I am always aware, my buddhi. Always it is so much alert that it is taking decisions correctly, rightly. So then the accident won't happen. Then my chariot or the cab will reach its destination properly. Even so, if the buddhi is wide awake, and if the sensory system together with the mind is disciplined and controlled, a human being can reach the goal of his life. What is that goal? We will come to it shortly. Another important activity of the mind that concerns personality development is our emotions. More the emotions are under control, healthier becomes one's personality. Emotions can be broadly classified into two types, namely attraction and repulsion. So here, our emotions are broadly they are made into two categories. What is that? Attraction and repulsion. What are the sub manifestations or divisions? That love, admiration, aspiration, sympathy, joy, veneration, pride, and the like indicate attraction. So in this attraction category, all these positive emotions come. Hate, anger, fear, sorrow, jealousy, disgust, shame, etc. are of the nature of repulsion. So actually, hatred means if I hate you, this means I won't come near you. If I love you, I will want to come near you more often. So there are two different types of emotions. As long as one is entangled with the undisciplined mind, one's personality does not really develop. Buddhi, the charioteer, serves as an effective instrument of self-development by controlling the emotions and raising the higher self from the hold of the lower mind. So, higher self is raised from the hold of lower mind. बंधुरा आत्मात्मनस्तस्य येन आत्मैव आत्मना जितः अनात्मनस्तु शत्रुत्वे वर्तेत आत्मैव शत्रु. Last time we saw this shloka. First we saw the shloka that Atmaiva Atmano Bandhu Atmaiva Ripuratmana. Then next shloka we saw Bandhura Atma Manastasya Yena Atmaiva Atmana Jitana. That means that is what here it is translated, that the effective instrument of self-development by controlling the emotions and raising the higher self from the hold of lower mind. This is what that means. So far whatever we have discussed, do you want to say anything about it? Any discussion? So chariot, it is very common, very popular example given in our Vedanta. That what is that? The charioteer is the buddhi, the chariot is the body, the horses are the senses, and the person who is the master of the chariot, here say suppose passenger, so to speak, the one for whom the chariot is being operated, he is the self inside. So this, for this self, who is sitting inside, who is the enjoyer, all these things are going. So this is the chariot. So if you feel, if you compare this with your own body, just imagine this is it not like a vehicle? Do you not feel that this is a vehicle? Now after the class, we will feel, let me go to my room, or let me go to my library, or let me go to my dining hall. So then what happens? This vehicle will immediately get ready. It will be immediately started. The moment that order is given that from after this class I have to go to library, then this vehicle starts. Then your legs are the wheels of that vehicle. Then those wheels start and they take you to this your library. But how they will take? Unless there is a charioteer. So unless there is a buddhi who says no, I have to go to library. So otherwise, by absent-mindedly, many times what happens? Absent-mindedly we go to our room, and after going to our room we realize, I have come. I was thinking. I was all the time. I was wondering that I am going to library, but I was lost in some thoughts, and I came to my room. Okay, let me go back to library. So what happens then? We have to go a roundabout route again. We have to go extra route, extra efforts we have to take to go to library. Why? Because the charioteer was absent. Means absent-minded. He was talking to somebody. So if suppose cab driver, he's talking to somebody on phone or something, and then he is driving, and then the master has told him, passenger has told him, I want to go to such and such place, and he is busy talking, and he, in absent-minded way, he took that master to somewhere else. So like this, we can compare this example with ourselves. That unless I am very much alert all the time. That I have decided to go to library, and all the time I am aware of my goal. Then what happens? If somebody comes on the way and tells, come, let us go to some other place, the other department. Awesome. What will tell? No. So let me first finish this library work. I have some small work. Let me finish it first. Then we can go. Then first decision, whatever I have taken, let me finish it. Let me work on it. Then we will go. We can think about it. So like this, that decision making is done by the charioteer, the buddhi. And what are the reins? These reins are the controlling thing, the mind. These reins are your this thing of the senses. Through mind, it is the senses. These forces are being controlled by the buddhi, the charioteer. So buddhi says, mind, hey, you control. You don't allow your body to go here and there like this. So if the body is not in control, if the mind is somewhere else, the buddhi is somewhere else, then you will see many people, absent-minded people, will see they are sitting in one place, but they are shaking their legs. They are moving their legs continuously. Why? These habits, because those people cultivate that absent-mindedness. So their body is not in their control. So uncontrolled motions are happening in their body. Their legs are continuously, they are moving while sitting. And because it shows that they are thinking about something else. they're not where they're sitting. Their mind is not present there. So then it shows that that person is absent-minded. He may be talking to you, but he's continuously shaking his legs. Then it means that there is large part of his mind is engaged in something else. So this whole, all the horses are not in control of the chariot here, the buddhi. That's why what happens? One horse is going somewhere else. So like this, we notice in this chariot example.
So the horses are our body parts?
Means they are the senses, they are body parts. But senses are our body parts, is it not?
But maybe it will be a little bit diagnostic, but is Ratha Yatra celebrated out of this concept from chariot and a lot?
This will be too much of this thing. This kind of link, it will be too much of a remote linking of these two things. Direct there may not be, or maybe there is a link. Just an example similarity is definitely there. So we don't know if it has any link with the Upanishadic example of chariot. But basically thing is, chariot is otherwise also a very celebrated thing in the tradition. Because in those days there were chariots only. Cars have come just 50 years back. This modern, this thing cars and all. But all over the world, so to speak, even in all the cultures, we see 1,000 years old or 2,000 years old. We see chariots of different types, of different shapes, but basically chariots, driven by either horses or driven by some other different animals that are found in those different continents. So like this, basically chariot is the thing which was very much used, very common vehicle. So it is still prevailing in the holy traditions. Even that's why the god who is treated as a king, who is treated as a main this thing, our what you say guiding light of the society. So naturally, because the tradition is not started 50 years back, it has started 50,000 years back, so to speak. Not 50,000, if not 5,000 years back. So that chariot thing is still common. So it may or may not have this. Any?
So when we think about the self-development or personality development, how should we focus on the development of the in this allegory development of the driver, like get a better driver, or should we focus on the development of the master? Because if we have a strong and wise master, then whoever is the driver will obey. So how should we think about this development?
Yes. So this is our subject matter of this course, so to speak. We are going to go into some detail in this development thing that you talked about. And first, before developing, we have to know it. Who is he that I am going to develop? What is it that I am going to develop? That is personality. Unless I know myself, unless I know the ingredients of my whole personality, I won't be able to develop them. So when I am going to cook something, when I decide to eat something, say, I don't know whether you have heard of this parotha or paratha. That is, pronunciations are different in different parts of India. So if I have decided to eat parotha, then I have to know the ingredients of parotha. Then only I can go towards developing the parotha or paratha. Then only I can be eating that parotha. So what are the ingredients that I need? This wheat, I need this oil, I need these spices, I need these things. So many, so on and so forth. So first, let us know what is parotha. What is it made of? Then, how to make it. The next stage is how to make it. First is what are the ingredients. So if you see the videos or if you read the recipe things of descriptions of in the books, what first thing will be the ingredients, and then the next thing is the recipe. So we are going to first discuss about the ingredients, and then we are going to continue with the recipe of personality development. So you please tell me how long we should go. Then at that point we will pause, and then we'll continue in the next class. So you all just tell me that when you want to pause this discussion today. Shall I continue a little while, little more? So we'll see what is character now. Every action and thought of ours leaves an impression in our mind. These impressions determine how we behave at a given moment, how we respond to a given situation. The sum total of all our impressions is what determines our character. The past has determined the present. Even so, the present or present thoughts and actions will shape our future. This is a key principle governing personality development. So, what is made of my character that instantly decides what I am going to respond to, what situations in which way I am going to respond. So, immediate reflex action, as we say, will come from whatever development I have achieved, whatever development of character I have achieved. That way, I will respond to different situations. So many times we are surprised. Very many times we are taken for we are mesmerized, so to speak, by seeing some personalities that they instantly behave in such a glorious way, in such a wonderful way, in such a compassionate and loving way or a helping way, that they don't have to calculate, they don't have to think about it. They just instantly do good to others. And we are sometimes taken aback, we are taken for surprise. How this person instantly can manifest this greatness in him, this goodness in him. For me, if I was in his place, I will have to so much think whether I should be doing this, what I should do, how I should do. So much I have to go on thinking, and I won't be instantly able to do this thing. After maybe hours of thinking, I will come to some decision. But that person instantly did that right thing, what was required. So, this is the thing that is called character, that you have developed. Along the course of time, you have really spent time to develop your character. So, when the character has developed in such and such way, that personality, that charisma, that aura, we say, that has developed. So, instantly that person reacts in certain way. And people are surprised. That's why we see great people, great leaders of society. So why they are great? Because they have developed this character. Because instantly, in certain problems of society, in certain situations of social situations, they instantly give a solution, because of which they are very much praised by society. Because of that, they are very much followed by the society. The large number of people admire them because of that. Why? Instantly they behave in such a way. That is what character is. What activity activates the body-mind system? Now next paragraph. This is an important question, the answer to which will help us have better knowledge of ourselves. This question engaged the attention of ancient Indian seers and sages. They experimented with themselves, their sensory and mental apparatus, and after a disciplined quest, they found out that there is a divine element in human beings, which is the mind of the mind, eye of the eyes, ear of the ears, and speech of the speech. It is this divinity which constitutes the real I and the eternal element in our personality. This divinity survives physical dissolution of the body. This divinity remains latent in us as long as we identify ourselves with our body mind and the sensory system. The goal of life, according to the scriptures and the great ones, is to manifest this hidden divinity. So, what these Indian seers and sages of the ancient times they did? So, just like a modern scientist in laboratory, what he does, if he has to study the functions of oxygen, then what he does, he separates oxygen from all the other chemical elements or gases, and he makes an isolated study of oxygen only. That how oxygen, without mixing it with other chemical elements or gases, how it reacts to certain things, how it reacts with other chemicals, other metals, or other gases. So first they have to separate that oxygen into a test tube or into a glass bottle or whatever, into some kind of a experimental lab, and then they will study it in an isolated way, separating from. So the same way, our sages, what they did with the mind, they did the same thing. So if I have to study my mind, I have to isolate it from other things. I have to study it by making it a completely dissociated, pure thing. Then I will be able to know the characteristics of the mind. Then they watched different modifications of the mind. And why those modifications are coming, they study. Achha, this modification of the mind, this thought in my mind is coming because of such and such food that I ate. So they associated with food, that such and such thought came because this food. Because when I did not take that food, that thought was not coming to me. When I took that kind of food, that thought came. So there is a linkage of thought and the food, type of food I ate. So they studied, okay, this food, this thought. Then they studied the mind. Then so much like the deeper study. If I mix with such and such person, such and such thought comes to me. If I see such and such things, such and such thought. If I hear such and such thing. So all this study, went on studying, went on studying. Then they went deeper. When they went deeper and deeper and deeper like this, then they dissociated themselves with this, the mind also. And they found that there is a divine principle. There is a pure divine principle which is even beyond this mind. And that is what they found out as a goal of human life, because that is the master of the chariot. If the master has lost himself, he has forgotten about himself, then he is a slave of the chariot. He forgot that he is a master. According to him, the chariot will go. According to him, the cab will go. But the passenger has forgotten. And then the cab driver is taking him all around and nightly earning money out of his out of that, because the passengers have forgotten. He's just sitting there, and the cab driver is asking, "Sir, do you want to go? Wherever you take me." Then he will go a whole day. He will take you around whole city, and he will earn nice money out of your this thing. And exactly that is what is happening about us. This whole world is nicely taking us around, nicely deluding us, nicely exploiting us for itself, and afterwards, what? Throwing us. After the whole passenger's whole pocket is empty, the whole bank account is empty, the cab driver throws him out of the cab. Now you are no good for nothing for me. Exactly this thing happens with us. Swamiji says in Work and Institutes that we came to enjoy, but we are being enjoyed. We came to sip the honey, but our feet are stuck to the honey pot. These are the exact words Swamiji says. We came to rule, but we are being ruled. This is what happens. Who came to rule? The master of this chariot. He came here in this world to rule. Ruling not to rule others, to rule himself, to rule his own chariot. Wherever he wants his chariot to go, whatever he wants his chariot to achieve, that he should have. But reverse has happened. Now the chariot is guarding and guiding the master. And he has to simply slavishly follow and obey the chariot, because he has forgotten his glory, his masterhood. And then what happens? After he is depleted all his masterly this thing, his bank account, then he is thrown out of this chariot. So this is what is happening. It is our everyday experience. So one more paragraph we will read, and then we can see whether to continue. What was the central message of Swami Vivekananda? Swami Vivekananda's lectures, talks, letters, poems, his life's work is published in 9 volumes entitled The Complete Verse of Swami Vivekananda. Is there any central message of Swamiji that runs through the pages of these 9 volumes? Let us hear Swamiji himself. My ideal indeed can be put into a few words, and that is to preach unto mankind their divinity and how to make it manifest in every movement of life. Man's inherent divinity was Swamiji's central message. The following famous quotation of Swamiji can be our mantra for personality development. What is that? Each soul is potentially divine. The goal is to manifest this divinity within by controlling nature, external and internal. So the goal is to know this master. We have forgotten that we are the masters. We are identified with the charioteer, with the reins of the horses, with the horses themselves, and we are completely in chaos. But the moment we understand, no, I am the master and they are the slaves of mine. Who are the slaves? My body, my mind, my intellect, my ego are the slaves. I am not their handle. They are my handle. They should obey me. They should follow me. But I am following them. Wherever my mind says, let us go today enjoy this thing, I am following. Wherever my senses says, let me nicely eat today. So I am eating without any thinking what will happen to me if I eat so much. What I am eating, whether it is harmful to me, I don't think. And I am eating so many things without thinking about my health. So I am so much slave of this body mind that I am so much deluded. and I have lost my divinity, so to speak. Swamiji was never tired of rousing people to be conscious of their inherent divinity and perfection. He wanted this divinity to manifest in our day-to-day lives. In fact, he held this manifestation of divinity as the sole index of civilization of humankind. So what is civilization? Is the civilization that is based on this divinity. A nation may conquer the waves, control the elements, develop the utilitarian problems of life, seemingly to the utmost limits, and yet not realize that in the individual, the highest type of civilization is found in him who has learned to conquer self. So only if that person is the highest prototype of highest civilization. One who has conquered himself, one who was Buddha himself. So why Buddha is being worshipped all over the world? Why all types of people, all people of all countries are following Buddha? Because he was that one example. Complete control of his intellect, complete control of his mind, complete control of his senses, complete control of his ego. That's why he was called the great Buddha. And that's why everybody was following. Wherever he used to go, people used to say, the Lord, can we follow you? Yes, please come. So he is also welcoming everybody because he had realized that he is the master of the chariot. This universe is simply a gymnasium in which the soul is taking exercise. And after these exercises, we become gods. So the value of everything is to be decided by how far it is a manifestation of God. So what is the value of everything? What I should value more in this world, in my life, is how much the God is reflecting in that particular thing. How much that manifestation of divinity I see in you all people, that will decide how much I get attracted to you. Not how you appear, whether you are good looking or bad looking, whether you are a man or a woman, whether you are rich or poor, whether you are learned or ignorant. That doesn't care. I won't care. But if what I should care, what I should seek in you all is where is the manifestation of that masterliness? Where is that complete self-control? The manifestation is there. I must go quickly to that person and I should fall flat at that person. I should take maximum company of that person. Why? Because through him I will know that because he has learned that he is a master of the chariot. Through that I will also learn how to become the master of my chariot. So when some plane is hijacked by the terrorists, then the Air Force planes will come and they will surround that plane and they will want to control they will not allow the hijackers to completely take away the plane, to completely hijack and take it somewhere. The Air Force plane will surround that hijacked plane and then they will guide. Now that plane cannot be taken here and there because the Air Force plane are controlling it. So like that, if the good company, the hijacked plane, takes the company of the Air Force plane, which is in full control, then what? It won't go. Then the passengers can be saved. But if the hijacked plane has nobody to save, no company, then what happens? Then that will be taken and those passengers will be completely under control of the terrorist. Like that, one terrorist who is sitting, the undisciplined mind is the terrorist. What is that? Bandhura atmasmanastasya yena atmaiva atmanatma jitah anatmanastu shatrutve vartet atmaiva shatruvat. The same, your own mind is a terrorist. There is no terrorist lying in some country or some other place hidden somewhere. The terrorist is your own mind, but because it is going against you all the time, it is making you dance at its own tunes, and you are saying somebody else as a terrorist. He became terrorist much later. First, the terrorist is lying in yourself. Why that person became terrorist? Because his mind is also a terrorist. His mind is also going against him. That's why he is doing this violence. That's why he is doing this aggression and harming people. So this is the thing. When Swamiji says this is work is a gymnasium. To work, do exercise. Why gymnasium we go? I don't have biceps. I don't have good physique. When I go to a gymnasium, I do dumbbells. My biceps will grow. My strength will go. My calf muscles will become strong. My bicep muscles will become strong. So everything will become very like a what you say, wrestler. I can become a wrestler. So that person who has conquered himself in this gymnasium of this world, he is a wrestler. So now he has a full control of his body, his muscles, a wrestler. So because he has done so much gym, so he's so much strong. So now he has continuously working out, continuously doing the different exercises. He has attained control over his muscles. So that's why he is the person who has worked in this gymnasium. So civilization is the manifestation of that divinity in man. This divinity in us is the repository of eternal existence, eternal knowledge, and eternal bliss. This is the source. No? The moment I know that I am the master, I immediately become blissful. Because this itself is a bliss for me. Is it not? See, if you think about the kings in this world, a king, just by knowing that he is a king, is enjoying 100 times more. He is in bliss. The bliss of his kingship is itself going. Otherwise, the king is sitting in some special sofa or some special cushion or some special chair. No. Most of the times, most of us are sitting in the similar chairs and similar sofas and similar kind of these things. They don't get some kind of a 10 times more comfortable cushions and sitting arrangements or something. More or less, some betterment will be there, of course. Some more comfort will be there, but not to the extent of it is something surpassing the whole human standards. No. But why they are kings and why they are so much craving for this kinghood? Because the very knowledge of being a king, I am the king of this whole country. That knowledge gives you are in bliss. You are powerful. Why? You don't carry guns. Kings don't carry guns. They don't carry so much weapons and atomic weapons and so much. They don't have. But what is the power of that king? Everybody is obeying him because he's a king. That is the power. Does he have 2, 3, 4 hands more, or does he have some more biceps? Probably his bodyguards are more strong physically than a king. Probably his army is more powerful than him. But why he is powerful? He feels that power more than an army general. He feels that. The army general won't feel that power. The kind of power the king feels. I am the king. That's all. This I am. This when you understand that you are the master of this chariot, the very knowledge of this mastership or masterhood, you are in bliss, complete bliss. You just absolutely don't need anything else apart from that. You will realize, I don't need absolutely anything. I am the king of this. Then what? Then the moment you get the mastery of these senses, of these horses, of this chariot, then the moment you will get mastery of the entire horses. Because everything is connected. So this will go gradually, we'll see. The more it manifests, the more we experience abiding happiness and get more supreme knowledge. So I think today we can stop here this discussion and continue in the next class. So this is the kind of course we will continue, that personality development according to Swami Vivekananda, and we'll discuss various things. And though apparently these things are simple, apparently these are very much talked about things. You see, these are not something very esoteric or otherworldly things that we are talking about. Most of us will have already heard of these things, but when we discuss again and again, and when we go into the intricacies of those things, then we learn. Is it not? When we discuss, then continuously back and forth discussions happen. Then we learn how to control these senses, how to control this mind, what is buddhi. The more you know, the more you become aware. Then the more you get control. When you are not aware, then you don't have control. Many people, they purchase mobile phones, latest models, latest versions. As soon as it comes into the market, they will go first and grab that latest model. But most of us don't know what are the functionalities. So much there are advanced functionalities in those mobile smartphones. But most of the people, and especially you will see the senior generation, the older generation people, they use the smartphone, but they don't know anything apart from sending SMS, taking the phone call or making a phone call, and sending some WhatsApp messages. So they are carrying a smartphone. They are carrying the very advanced device which can do so many things, which can plan, which can remember your events, which can plan your commitments. You can do so many things. So many, you can keep track of your conversations, your meetings with people. So many things you can do with one smartphone. But those people, they don't know how to operate. So they are having a very expensive smartphone, but if you ask them, Acha sir, can you send me that file? You just attach it, make a PDF and send. They'll say, I don't know how to make a PDF. of that file and how to send it. Then they will hand over the mobile phone to you. You only do it. So this is the condition of most of us, that we are carrying the most advanced device within us. Now we are carrying the most advanced system, which can do so many things, which can think, which can innovate, which can discover, which can control, and but we don't know how to operate it. We don't know it is there actually. Basically, forget about operating. We don't even know it is there inside us because we have mixed up everything. Mind means body, body means mind, mind means I. I am the mind, I am the body. Like this, we have mixed up everything. So the person who doesn't know about smartphone, yes, smartphone is there, like that, he says, but he doesn't know what are the capabilities. And then what happens? He just spoils the whole thing. Such an expensive smartphone, but he cannot use it. So paisa is not vasool. So we have to make this body mind. We have to thoroughly know it and control it. Then what will happen? The whole paisa vasool will be completely able to exploit its abilities to our greatest extent. So today we will conclude. If anybody has got anything more to say or question. Emotion. Emotion. Emotional intelligence. Yes, we definitely will discuss this. This is a very important point, and it is this we had touched upon in our one previous talk when we were discussing about intelligence. We had discussed one portion of this, but we will, in the course of this personality development, this thing, we will go into details of emotional intelligence. Yes, yes. So we will take a full one session on discussing the details about emotional intelligence. Okay, and you will also understand it in the course of our talk, that what is emotional intelligence. This is discussed in this book, uh, and we will have a elaborate in our consequent subsequent sessions. Deepak, you have anything?